Well, since you all loved my last discussion on the Five Nights at Freddy's teaser that released a while ago, now I'm going to be talking about the new trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, in case you didn't know what I thought of the last trailer, I thought it was absolutely atrocious. I thought it looked like a student film. It wasn't scary. It looked like the budget was like for like a ham sandwich or something. Like, it just looked so cheap, and I should have seen that this was coming, considering that Scott Cawthon, even though he's not directing this film, he pretty much has complete control over this film, even having some directors removed because they didn't want to follow his vision, despite the fact that he's not a filmmaker and he's only made a bunch of games, some of which, including Security Breach, is one of the most broken, like, major games to come out in a while. Like, the gameplay itself is broken, the story doesn't make any sense, and now they're adding like a new DLC or whatever to try to make more sense of it, which I'm pretty sure it won't. Just because you've made a successful game franchise doesn't mean you know anything about making a movie. And oh boy, did that video get so much backlash, especially from people who said that I breathe too much. But whatever. Now we have the new trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's. Has my opinion changed? Or do I think this is just as bad, or if not worse than the first trailer? It's better than the first trailer, but it's still not very good. See, unlike a lot of other movie trailers, where I'm not really thrilled by the first trailer or so, like, usually it's because they're edited weird or whatever, but the problem is, with that first trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's, it was the actual, like, visual look of the movie. Like, it looks like a student film. Now, in this trailer, they were a lot more deliberate in what shots to put in. Like, they didn't put in some of those other shots that were in the teaser in this trailer. But at the same time, I already know that those shots in the first teaser are going to be in this film. They're doing a better job at covering their tracks, but overall, I still know that this film is going to look like a student film. Also, even though this trailer doesn't make it look like a student film for the most part, it still looks very generic. There's no creative vision here. There's no style. And if I'm going to be honest, a lot of these shots right here look like they are made specifically for trailers. Like, the way the camera is positioned where, like, you know, you see some shadows and, you know, you see reactions from people. It legitimately looks like they were made for a trailer. It doesn't feel like it's anything made for a film. That's why I just don't think this movie is just going to be good. And on top of that, they are releasing this movie simultaneously in theaters and in Peacock. Horror is doing extremely well nowadays. And so if this were a really great film, why would they not just be releasing it in theaters exclusively? There's absolutely no reason to put this on Peacock unless they know the movie's bad and they don't think it's gonna do well as a theatrical exclusive, so maybe they can boost some subscribers on Peacock, which doesn't really work anyway because people don't subscribe to streaming services for movies. If there's anything the past 2-3 years taught us, it's that people see value in theatrical exclusive releases. That's why when you saw Avatar: The Way of Water go onto Disney Plus and HBO Max, or now Max, once it hit those services, after being one of the biggest theatrical successes of all time, like, it became one of the most viewed films on those services. Because people prefer to see movies in theaters and they see value in it. And there's also something else that people kind of pointed out that I didn't really realize with the first teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's that I actually do very much agree with. Why are the animatronics very emotive? Why are they squinting their eyes? Why are they trying to convey emotion? Isn't the whole point of an animatronic and why they're creepy is that they're uncanny? Like, they don't emote? Like, they're just these lifeless little robots? In trying to give these animatronics more life, they, ironically enough, end up being less scary. And going back to the whole filmmaking style of this movie, or lack thereof, the animatronics themselves, even when they're not emoting, don't look all that scary. Like, they're not shot in any kind of interesting way that would make them look scary. And what's even weirder is that they kind of move very clunky. Like, they're just like, I don't know what it is. They don't look or move in a way that's actually kind of scary. I guess maybe one way I can describe it is like, I look at the game The Joy of Creation, and that game is probably one of the best examples of like what a open world Five Nights at Freddy's can be. Like, the animatronics do move weird. They do move in ways that still seem mechanical, but there's life in them, and that they feel heavy. They feel like these really powerful things that can kill you. Whereas in this, why would they look like they could kill anyone? They don't look threatening in any sense. So yeah, even though I think this trailer is slightly better than the first teaser, it's still not that good, and I'm still not convinced that this Five Nights at Freddy's movie is going to be good. It looks bad, and if it does turn out to be bad, I will be here saying I told you so. But look, if it's good, I will be fair. I will be fair if this movie is good. If this movie is good, if I like it, I will give props to this film saying, all right, well, you proved me wrong. Because look, I don't want to hate this movie because I like the idea of a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, but I just don't have confidence in the filmmakers. I don't have confidence in Scott Cawthon, considering he's not a filmmaker, he's a game developer, and even then, let's face it, the story of his games doesn't really make sense unless you watch MatPat's game theory videos, and even then, I'm pretty sure MatPat did the heavy lifting in trying to take a bunch of nonsense and trying to make a somewhat cohesive story, which really kind of just says more about MatPat's skills as a storyteller than Scott Cawthon's. Let me know in the comments below what you think, but also, as a little plug, I want you guys to check out my new podcast, the Hannahcast. Yes, the Hannahcast podcast is back. It's more official than ever, and I'm going to start releasing episodes every Saturday, and you can watch the video podcasts here. I have one in the end card of this video. It's where I do my June 2023 Oscar predictions, but if you can't watch the video podcast, then you can still listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to the Hannahcast on there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, not just for my YouTube channel, but also subscribing to the podcast, because if you don't, maybe I will become Purple Man.